And if we see in this verse, Shukdev Goswami is talking about three personalities. One is Gargamuni, second is Nanda Maharaj, and third one is, of course, Krishna, the Supreme Person. If we separate this verse into two lines, the first one talks about Gargamuni in relationship with Krishna, and second line talks about Nanda Maharaj in relationship with Krishna. And if we see, there is one word which appears two times in this verse called Atmanam. First time it appears in the first line, and second time it appears in the second line. And if we look at the translation of this two, means this word, first time Prabhupada is translating Atmanam as about the absolute truth, the supreme soul. And second time when Prabhupada is translating this Atmanam, he is translating it as his own self. So it's really important to understand this particular verse because this particular verse, if we don't hear it from a Vaishnava, a pure devotee of the Lord in a disciplic succession, then there is a great chance of getting misguided. If we just look at this particular verse and if we see Atmanam twice, one may be misguided saying that, okay, Atmanam means first time also it is Atmanam. That means Atma, the soul, and then second time is also an Atmanam, that means soul. But if you don't look at the context, and our Acharyas, Vaishnavas, pure devotee of the Lord, they always look at the context. Before this verse, if we see verse number 12 to 19, Gargamuni is glorifying Krishna, being a supreme person. And in the continuation to that, here it is said, Ityatmanam Samadishya. And in the translation, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, very clearly, the first line itself, Prabhupada is saying, Krishna is the super soul and Nanda Maharaj is the individual soul. So, if we don't hear it from the devotees of the Lord in a disciplic succession, then a contamination may appear. If this particular verse is seen by any class of Maya Aparita Jnana, whose knowledge is really been taken away by Maya, they will translate this verse as, okay, Atmanam means ordinary soul or a soul, and Krishna is that soul, and Gargamuni is instructing about that soul called Krishna to Nanda Maharaj, and then he is going back home, and Nanda Maharaj is pleased because of that. So we have to be really careful when we hear from someone. We have to see that whether he is the person who is free from the contamination or not. And that's the reason Prabhupada always said that this Mayavadis, we should not hear anything from Mayavadis. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Mayavadi Bhashya Sunile Hoi Sarvanash. If we hear from Mayavadis, then our life will be destroyed, our devotional service will be destroyed. It's something like drinking the milk touched by the snake. When snake, he touched the milk, simultaneously he releases the poison, and then that milk becomes a poisonous milk. And if one drinks that poisonous milk, then it becomes we would destroy our devotional aspect, our devotional life. And that's the reason when we hear, we have to make sure that we hear it from a Vaishnava. We always say that, okay, we have to nurture our Bhakti Lata Bij, we have to water the root. But if that water is been mixed with acid, then it becomes an acidic water. And if we pour that water into our Bhakti Lata Bij or a plant of our Bhakti, then it's going to destroy. And Gita clearly says, Prabhupada says in Gita, in simple words it is said, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the fountainhead of everyone. Everyone is a part and parcel of Him. He is the root of Paramatma and Brahman. So what one should do, one should simply surrender unto Him and serve Him. Then only one can understand His actual position. That's the problem. But this Mayavadis, what do they say? That the Mayavadi philosophy, if we hear, they say that I am God, you are God, everyone is God. And at the end of the life, then we will merge into that Brahman. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. That's what this Mayavadi says. That's the reason they call each others as Narayan. You are Narayan, I am Narayan. One might say, well, after explaining this verse, then he can go back saying that, see, even Garga Muni is saying that Krishna is Narayan. So you are Narayan, I am Narayan, Krishna is Narayan, all are Narayan. And once we give up this particular body, then we will go and merge into the impersonal Brahman. So uh, we all know that Prabhupada has given very good example that one of the philosopher, so-called educator, when he translated Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru verse, he said Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Mam means it's not Krishna, but then it's Mam means one who is within. One should worship him. One should pay obeisances to him. But these people don't know that what kind of contamination they are having. They say that Shivoham, Shivoham. If we see someone is saying Soham, Soham, I am that. No, it is not that. In Bhagavad Gita, it is simple, clearly mentioned that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are two funny stories we can see. One Prabhupada story we can see that which explains that why we should not really associate with this Mayavadis or one whose knowledge is really been destroyed by Maya. Once Prabhupada, along with his disciples, they were in Kumbh Mela. And in Kumbh Mela, we all know that other people also comes, that Gyanis comes, Dhyanis comes, Mayavadis comes. And it was a winter. So in that winter, one of the devotee, he was wearing shawl for the protection. He was wearing shawl, blanket, and then he is going away. And one of the Mayavadi, he was just passing from him, and then he was really feeling cold. He did not have anything, so he asked for one of the blanket for that from that devotee. And that devotee, what he did, that he just removed one of the thread from the blanket and gave it to him, and said that, yeah, I'm giving you the blanket. So please, uh, please wear this blanket. So this is what the Mayavadi means, that they consider everyone as one. So there is a difference between the thread of the blanket and the blanket. Similarly, during Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, few Mayavadis came to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur saying that we want to challenge you and we want to prove that everything is one. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said, okay, no problem, we can have challenge. But then before that, why don't you honor mangoes? Why don't you eat mangoes? And they said, yes, why not? We will eat mangoes. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave them a basket of rotten mangoes. And then he asked them to eat. No, you have to eat them. And then they had to eat it because he insisted him to eat. And then while eating, they asked him the question, why are you giving us rotten mangoes? You should have given us fresh mangoes, right? So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, no, everything is one. Rotten mango, fresh mango, there is no difference. So why you are saying that, okay, you should give me fresh mangoes? This is also mango, eat it. So ultimately the conclusion is everything is not the same. There is a difference. So when Prabhupada is translating here, right in the beginning, Prabhupada is saying that Krishna is the Supreme Person. Krishna is the Supreme Person, Super Soul, and Nanda Maharaj is the individual soul. So one has to be really careful from whom one should hear. So if we continue this purport, next Prabhupada is saying, by the instructions of Garga Muni, both of them were blessed. So one might ask a question here, both of them means who? But in here we can have two perspectives. Suhotra Swami in his lecture he says that both of them means Nanda Maharaj and Krishna. Both of them were blessed. But then the question might come that people might ask this question that Krishna is the super soul. Here is mentioned, Prabhupada is saying Krishna is super soul. He is the great person. Just now we said he is the fountainhead of everything. He is the root of Brahman and Paramatma. So how he can be blessed by an ordinary soul? I mean, of course, Gargamuni is not an ordinary person, but then individual soul, how he can be blessed? When one asks this question, he says that we should understand that he is not impersonal, but then he still has a tinge of impersonalism. Why? Because uh, they might think that Krishna is a great person, then why he has to associate with us? Why he has to take interest in us? He should be placed remote. He should keep distant from us. Why he has to really deal with our matters? So no, we should not think in that way. When we say that Krishna is blessed, it is purely based on a loving platform. We know that Gargamuni is not an ordinary person. He is a great sage. He is a great Brahmana. He is a great devotee of the Lord. So when devotee glorifies the Lord, uh, we know that Krishna reciprocates in the same way. Otherwise, why Krishna has to be a chariot driver of Arjuna? When Krishna sees that loving affection, that's the reason in Krishna consciousness we say it's a it's a loving devotional service. Bhakti is a loving devotional service. The devotee has love for the Lord, and Krishna, being a supreme person, he's unlimited. We say in Brahma Samhita that Advaita Achyuta Anadi Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam cha uh, Vedeshu Durlabha Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Tama Aham Bhajami. Devotees know that he is the one. Devotees know that Advaita Achyuta, he is infallible. Advaita Achyuta Anadi, he is eternal. Ananta Rupam, he has unlimited forms. Adyam, he is oldest. Adyam uh, Purana Purusham, he is the person, he is a Purusha, and he loves to be in relationship with his devotees. Otherwise, why? When Draupadi gave a piece of cloth to him, uh, in return, Krishna reciprocated. Krishna gave means meters. We cannot even count meters of cloth during that incident, disrobing of Draupadi. Meters. I don't know how much. Means we cannot even calculate that. Why? Uh, why he has to lift Govardhan Hill for 7 days? Why Krishna has to do all these activities? Why Krishna has to expand himself into Gopas when this Brahma Vimohan Leela happened? Just that when he sees love of his devotees, he reciprocates in the same way. He, being omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, reciprocates. He has unlimited qualities, and then Krishna gives his heart to his devotees. When we see that Vrajavasis, the devotees, are giving everything to the Supreme Person, the same way Krishna is interacting with them. Otherwise, why these relationships are there? Then this Mayavadis are right that okay, there is no relationship. Just go and merge into an existence of that impersonal. But we have to understand that even though electricity is impersonal, even though the powerhouse is impersonal, but then man who is who is working or who is behind that is person. That person is no one but Krishna, the supreme person, and he likes to have relationship. He likes that variegatedness, the varieties. That's the reason there is a relationship in Shantarasa. There is a relationship in Dasya Rasa. There is a relationship in Sakhya Rasa. There is a relationship in Vatsalya, Madhurya Rasa. He likes it because he is a person. He is not impersonal, and he loves. He loves everyone. Otherwise, when actually Gargamuni was not invited by Nanda Maharaj. Gargamuni, Vasudeva asked Gargamuni to go and perform naming ceremony. And when Gargamuni, he is a Brahmana, but if he does not have uh, that devotional aspect, then there is no point. That's what in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is mentioned. One may have a lot of knowledge of scriptures. One may chant Vedic mantras. One may perform lot of austerities, penances. One may have taken birth in a high class like Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya. But if he is not a devotee of the Lord, if he is devoid of a devotional service, then it's simply like a dead man, like ornaments on a dead body. Uh, that's what in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is mentioned. But here, the Gargamuni is a great devotee of the Lord. So when uh, Gargamuni came for naming ceremony of Krishna, he really got attracted to Krishna. He Actually, he did not perform naming ceremony for Krishna first. When he came, as he know that Balram is elder to Krishna, he performed naming ceremony for Balram first. If we read in Krishna book, Prabhupada says that Gargamuni gave three names to Balram. One is Balram, Baladeva, and Sankarshana. Why Balram? Because when Gargamuni saw Balarama, he said that he is very pleasing. He is Sarva Ramaniya. Rama means very pleasing. So that's the reason he gave a name called Rama or Balarama. He gave Baldev because he is very strong. And he gave a name called Sankarshana because uh, Vasudev is from Yadava Kula and Nanda Maharaj is from Gopakula. So there can be an intimate connection, and Balram or the Sankarshana is the one who can intimately connect these two kulas. That's the reason he gave a name called Sankarshana. But when the naming ceremony happened for Krishna, being a son of Vasudev, Gargamuni said yes, his name should be Vasudev. But then second name, he was really contemplating. By seeing the astrological chart, he could realize that he is a supreme person. That's the reason he said that this person has taken he appeared many times before. First he appeared in a white form, then he appeared in a uh, in a Shweta Varna, then he appeared in a Rakta Varna, red form, then he appeared in a yellow, golden molten form, and now he is appearing in a blackish form. And then Krishna inspired him to give a name as Krishna because Krishna is all attractive, and that's what Gargamuni got attracted towards him. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary to this verse, says that Atmanam Swam Prati Pranana Ritya Maugdhena Dushtoyo ho Putana Nasoho Shishta Varga Prakrishtasya Gargasyapi Manoharat. So Gargamani is really got attracted. The translation, English translation, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, he who attracted the life of Putana and Shaktasura also attracted the mind of the highly qualified Garga. Garga returned home after withdrawing his mind from Krishna and directing it back to himself. So he really got attracted. And that's what Krishna means, all attractive. We see in this material world also, if one is wealthy, one gets attracted towards that wealthy person. If one is all knowledgeable, person get attracted towards his knowledge. If one is influential, person get attracted. If one is all influential, or powerful, he gets attracted. If person is renounced, he performs a lot of austerity, people get attracted towards him. And here is a Bhagavan. He is epitome, fountainhead of all the qualities, the six qualities that if we know that verse, Aishwaryasya, Viryasya, Yashasya, Shriya, Jnana, Vairagya. He is possessing all these six qualities. He is full of beauty. He is full of knowledge. He is full of renunciation. He is full of knowledge. He is full of power. He is full of strength. So, who will not get attracted towards him? And being devotee, Gargamuni is getting attracted towards him. So, this is what the loving eternal relationship between devotee and the Supreme Person. So, this is the one perspective we can think of, that why Krishna cannot be blessed by seeing the devotion of his devotees. He thinks that I want to really relish, I want to really enjoy what my devotee feels for me. And that's the only reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this particular world. He couldn't understand the love of Radharani for Krishna. And to relish that particular love, Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here and then released that love of devotees for himself. So we see here that is the perspective Prabhupada is giving and Acharyas are giving. That's the reason it is said, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Gargamuni got attracted, and why Krishna's name is Krishna? Because it's full of attraction. So let me see. Yeah. So then it is really difficult for Gargamuni to go back. Actually, in traditionally, when any ceremony used to happen, it used to happen for many days. Recently, also we know when the Vivaha Sanskar used to happen, it used to happen for many days, not one day. And that time, the guests who used to appear, the Brahmanas who used to perform these ceremonies, they used to stay back. They used to stay back. But here, Gargamuni is not staying back, because even though he knows that Krishna is the Supreme Person, through being in a relationship of a devotee in a Vatsalya form, he is saying no. If Kamsa comes to know about this, then it's going to be really dangerous. So I have to go back quickly. And that's how he, even though he doesn't want, he is going back to Swagriha. That's the reason it is saying that, okay, he has gone back to his own abode. He had departed. And then the second perspective is, who is blessed? First perspective is that Krishna and Nanda Maharaj are blessed. And the second perspective is the same, that Gargamuni and Nanda Maharaj both are blessed when they saw that Supreme Personality has appeared in this particular world. And he is going to perform beautiful activities, the Leelas, in this material world. And by seeing that, they really were blessed. And that's the reason the next sentence in translation, Nanda Maharaj, on being a platform of loving devotional service, he is pleased and considering himself that he is really fortunate. Before the naming ceremony, Nanda Maharaj did not know who Krishna is. But when Gargamuni said that Krishna, he is Narayan himself, he has taken unlimited forms before. So you should really take care of him nicely. And that time, by hearing that, Nanda Maharaj really was surprised, and then he was fortunate. He considered himself as fortunate, and then he said he was really pleased. Before that, he was thinking that how I am supposed to take care of this child. Just now, these calamities happened. Shakatasur came, Putana came to kill Krishna. So, but when he heard Garga Maharaj, he felt fortunate, and he said that, wow, this person has appeared in this dynasty, in my family, so I must take care of him in a Vatsalya relationship, in a paternal relationship. And that's the reason here also in purport, Prabhupada says that Nanda Maharaj was thinking of Krishna's safety from the hands of demons like Putana and Shakatasura, and because he possessed such a son, he thought of himself as the most fortunate. So I'll just take a pause here. Please let me know if you have any comments, questions, and we can discuss about it. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.